Hi there, Loy Macedo, speaking to you from loymacedo.com. Who's Loy Macedo and Think Personal Branding? Now, after I had put up the video with regards to UAE rumors, borrow less than 200,000, you don't need to pay, no problem, true or false. I got around 224 emails, emails and messages. Went through some of them. Some of them were really worthwhile, and I thought it was necessary for me to share first-hand experience of people who actually went through this experience of being taken to task, being taken by the law, being put in jail. So I filtered through all the emails and I chose the top 7 messages or emails that I felt would add value to you. So if you have taken a loan or you are you want to understand the law that is behind the 200,000 or less than that, can you get away with it? Or is there, would you get into trouble? You need to watch this video and listen to the emails and the opinions people have given. Once again, like I tell you always, this is information from people who have lived in Dubai, who have experience in Dubai. I would always recommend that you seek professional advice. Just as I tell people, if you want a job, make your resume professional, get proper interview skills, learn the strategy of how to get a job, come to me, because I'm a professional and I recommend others going to seek professional help. Even where this is concerned, seek proper professional help. Don't just take one opinion, take multiple opinions. And if you go to a lawyer, always go through a recommendation or a friend. That's what I had done, I have done, and I've always done. Okay, the first one is, let me go through an article by national.ae on the UAE bankruptcy law. Okay, this is what the title says: UAE bankruptcy law will not offer protection for defaulters on personal debt. The legislation will apply to all onshore and free zone companies throughout the UAE. Okay, it's except the ones who are in DIFC, that is Dubai International Financial Center, and employees of ADGM. So ADGM is Abu Dhabi Global Market. Okay, so apart from DIFC and ADGM, all those people who come under onshore and free zone companies, this legality will apply to them, each of which has already its own separate insolvency regulation in place. That's why I told you, check with a lawyer. A number of small business owners in the UAE have fled the country over the last many years, especially for unpaid loans. And this happened much more, especially after the crisis of 2009 and 2010, when people didn't know what to do. They thought, oh, I'm going to be put in jail for the rest of my life. They just left everything and just ran away. And that is why a number of businessmen, just escaped the country instead of being put in jail. So I want you to read this article. The links are put down below. So the first message that I got was from a reader who had 197,000 dirhams. His check bounced because he lost his job. He couldn't pay for a couple of months, so the bank put a case on him. It seems that he had to take his Emirates ID and his passport, go to the police station, and the mobile number should match the one that is registered with the Emirates ID. It should be under your name. When he went there, he took an airline ticket, which was less than 200 dirhams, where he wanted to fly out. So the immigration officials caught him at the airport, took him to jail. So, like I read it as he had put this message, he wanted to see what would happen, took legal counsel, found out that if he tries to travel at the immigration, he'll be caught. He booked a just namesake travel ticket, went to the airport. At the airport, the immigration people caught him, put him in a small room inside the airport. From there, he was taken to court. From there, he was fined 25,000 dirhams for the 197,000 dirhams. He paid 25,000 dirhams. And now he's scot-free and he's on the lookout for a job. So this is first-hand experience. Okay, the second message that I got is from a gentleman who was running a business, very big successful business, don't want to mention the name. It seems that all his checks were paid on time, but the last check, which was of 700,000 out of the $1 million deal, it seems that the 700,000 dirhams check was defaulted. It took him 3 years. He took the guy to task. He paid 60,000 in the court fees, but in the end, he didn't get paid 700,000. So this is another, he's a UK citizen, a UK passport holder. Originally, he's from another country. I don't want to give out his details. Third message that I got is this is what he says. Hi Loy, saw your latest video, very interesting. With respect to the payment of fines for the loans taken, this is true, but the amount is not clear and it only applies to Dubai, not the other Emirates. Yes, a criminal case gets lifted after the payment of the fine, but then it becomes a civil case. So your speculation is correct. You will not just get, but remember this, in some cases you can't get away by just paying a fine. So this is another reader. Next one is, I got this slightly smaller email. It's not the long one. He says here, hi Loy, I've been staying in Dubai for many years. I was working in a bank for 5 years, so I have first-hand experience. I want to confirm on your latest video what is wrong and what is right with regards to the 200,000 dirhams and defaulting it. The rule is, whatever product a customer takes from a bank, if it is a credit card loan or auto loan, when the customer is not paying the amount, whether deliberately or non-deliberately, the bank will wait for a certain period of time. The waiting period depends from bank to bank, after which the bank will be called by the collections department for the payment of the amount. After a few months, even after follow-ups, if the person is not paying, the bank will bounce the check, which will be more than his outstanding amount, but also depends on the product that he has taken. Because if you take a personal loan and auto loan, the amount on the check is already mentioned on the check. However, for credit cards, it's mostly a blank check. So when the check is bounced, they file a police complaint. The customer is called by the police. The customer goes to the police station. He's told to pay a fine. For checks less than 50,000, it's 2,000 dirhams. For checks more than 50,000 and less than 100,000, it's 5,000. And for checks more than 100,000 and less than 200,000, it's 10,000 dirhams. Now here's the further process. Once the customer pays the fines, the case is removed from the police station, and he will still have an outstanding from the bank. The bank will not put the customer on, the bank cannot put a case on the customer because the check has already been bounced. But for people who have a loan higher than 200,000, the check bounce over 200,000 is a civil case. He'll have to come for the settlement. He can't escape by just paying fines. So that is my experience for working for a bank. Okay, so this was a banker. Next one, this one is also not very long. It says, Loy, anyone can apply to the courts for personal bankruptcy. The only punishment is he cannot open a business for the next 6 years. The ruling came 6 to 8 months ago. If you have default up to 100,000, you can pay 5,000. If it is 200,000, the fine will be 10,000. He can pay this at the police station. It will take 4 hours to process. The police station has prosecutors who will deal with the fine, and the criminal case is removed. Then the creditors have the power to take this into a civil case if necessary. About 200,000 loan or credit is true. Post 2009, the central government has requested every bank to ensure every loan that is being issued. They never tell people this because people will take undue advantage of this. Every loan issued by the bank is covered by insurance. Now here's a funny bit. The bank recovers all its money from the insurance after they have settled the case with the Dubai courts. For the courts to issue an order, it takes a lot of time and the banks don't have any. Here's my thought, okay? Even though the bank may recover the money, I don't believe it's that easy. They just go to the insurance company and the insurance company says, yeah, take the loan. No, I don't think it's even that easy because the bank is a customer. It also has to show evidence. Personally, this is what I use logically, has to show evidence that they did follow up with the customer, they did do their best. And I'm pretty sure the insurance companies have ties with collection agencies. So after 2016, all bank cases have been transferred to the Dubai police if the case is in Dubai. I'm not sure about other Emirates. Also note that the defaulter can pay back the fine, has to pay back the fine when he or she is not able to pay back the loan because of job loss, and then the case is closed. But please remember, you get blacklisted and the labor can give you a ban depending on the bank or what strategy the bank decides to take. Furthermore, the mortgage is not waived off. Any real estate agent or property related case, any real estate or property related case, you will get absolutely jacked. There's no escape from this. Trade related checks, you'll get jacked. My current boss, who is a local, is currently facing multiple checks from suppliers whom he didn't pay. One of them is an American company whom he owes $6 million Another local distributor, he owes in the range of 3 million. Trade defaulter can go to jail. And that is why I tell you that if it's a trade or property or real estate, then you will get jacked. So this was another email. Now this email, the next one is slightly long, this and the next one. That is why I thought I'd read it out to you. What I like about this email is the guy has given 5 phases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 steps. So I want you to listen to this. Now, dear Lloyd, good day to you. Let me give you a detailed 5 phases about defaulting 200,000 dirhams that you might take. With regards to the 200,000 discussion, the viewer who shared this information didn't give you all the information. As a small and medium business owner in Sharjah, I had to face a lot of payments after defaulting going through the recession of 2018-2019. Moreover, I had many discussions as I've had many lawyers under me, and I also have filed cases against people who have been defaulting against me. So, let me explain. Let's say a customer has defaulted on a payment of 195,000, not 200,000, towards my company, a bounce check. The following is applicable to only amounts less than 200,000. If the amount is about 200,000, it's a different approach. So, first is you collect the bounce check from the bank, get their approval letter, approving that the check has bounced. Approach the police station, file a complaint. The police will contact the defaulter, ask him to pay within a few hours or days, depending on the emirate. Option is to issue a travel ban so that the person cannot run away. And it is only possible after the check has been bounced. Okay, this is phase 1. Phase 2. Let's assume the defaulter is not paid up even after being contacted. Go to the same police branch with the complaint report. Take other details if necessary. Meet the public prosecution of the emirate. Submit these documents. Public prosecution will order the defaulter to pay or face legal consequence. In case the defaulter is not paid, the public prosecutor will begin the paperwork for charging the defaulter with a criminal case. Criminal case fines, since it's less than 200,000, the amounts are very small. It'll be somewhere between 5,000 to 10,000 dirhams. Or else, if the person still doesn't pay, the person can go to jail. So then he puts it in big bold letters in red. Your viewer is correct until this step. Now let me explain step 3. Step 3 is, after you collect all the documents, including the police complaint, the criminal case file from the public prosecution, copies of these should be legally translated, such as copies of delivery notes, invoices, guarantee letters with the help of your lawyer. Charge a civil case in the civil court of the emirate. The criminal case and civil cases work differently and independently. At this stage, you can ask the civil, this is what he said, at this stage, I can ask the civil court to charge interest of approximately 6 to 12% from the defaulted amount on the check bounce date. I don't know how the number is decided, but it's between 6 to 12%. Also, I can request the civil court to freeze the bank accounts of the defaulter, all his bank accounts, till the whole case is over, so he cannot run away or take his money. The civil court will ensure that the defaulter pays up, spends time in jail, and ensures that he pays back the amount of the defaulted amount in case of company liquidation, sale of assets. By this time, almost all the defaulting cases are completed and the payments are made successfully. This was phase number 3. Phase number 4, in case the owner has fled, run away, gone back to India, for example, then collect all the above documents which he has mentioned, legally translate them to English, get it attested by the Ministry of Justice, go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the UAE so that it becomes a document that can be used in the home country, for example here, India, and get the documents attested by the legal notary, then attest it in the home department of the respective Indian state from where the defaulter is. Once this is completed, submit all this to the High Court of the Indian state. At this stage, the case is registered within India. The police of the respective region will start the search for the person. Now, the final, phase 5. Once the defaulter is caught, they bring him to UAE under the Extradition Treaty Act between India and UAE to carry on the judgment. First, a criminal court will have a jail term, then the civil court will have its jail term. So this is the information that he has given. He said, I'm sorry, Lloyd, for the long email. I hope that you inform your viewers with regards to this so they don't try defaulting payments below 200,000, thinking that there's a loophole in the system and they can get away with it. Great YouTube channel. Warm regards. I really appreciate this information that is shared. And now the last email that was sent to me. This one, the reader says, Dear Loy, greetings. I watch your videos which are truly informative and entertaining. I wanted to give you clarifications about the loan matter which you have stated in February 16th of 2019. What you mentioned is just half truth. In financial matters, especially in bounce checks, it works in two phases. Now he gives two phases. First is the criminal case for the check bounce. When a check, when the check, which is given as a guarantee against a loan or credit card, gets bounced due to insufficient funds, the banks have to report to the police station where the issuer is summoned and advised to pay, or they try to negotiate. In case of failure, a criminal case is registered and an immediate travel ban is imposed. Once that is where the new laws come into play. If the check amount is less than 200,000, 10 to 15% of the check value is being paid immediately at the police station and the travel ban is lifted. If the check is valued more than 200,000, then the person would be produced before a judge and would be detained, that is jailed. Here they would give an opportunity for the person to pay the fine in installments, or he can request a bail after 30 days. In this case, travel ban would be applicable until the case is resolved. This is where the criminal case for the check bounce would end. Now, after the payment is made, the fines, then the second phase is the civil case for getting the money from the debtor. This is a long procedure of getting the money back, as the banks have to file for the civil case in the civil court, which takes a decision after a lot of procedures, which takes a lot of time, depending on the summons, the pleadings, etc. Travel ban is imposed only after the final judgment by the execution court. Once the judgment becomes final, the court can grant options to the debtors to pay the installments. The bank can request for any assets and movables if there are any. Now, since the second phase is expensive, a lot of legal charges are involved. There's no guarantee for the debt recovery. Banks generally avoid this for smaller amounts. I've also heard that all loans and credit cards are also insured. Not sure. This needs to be verified. I've seen in my friend's case, the banks normally approach debt collectors before going legal. The above information holds good for personal loans and credit cards. Now the important part. You must understand that the banks give us loans to help us with our challenges or difficulties, and we must do our best to pay them. Be clear, especially with issues of non-payment. Bank runs its revenues on the interest gained and the payments made back. So please note that in case there's a default, the defaulter will never get a loan. He will be blacklisted by the credit bureau. Also, in case of non-payments, never ever speak to a debt collector. Never ever just go to any random lawyer for negotiation. Always go to the bank first. And if you have a contact and connection through someone, this is what I would say, go through them. And if you have a friend who works in a bank, that's even better. Never, I repeat, never talk to a debt lawyer or debt collector or lawyer, because they are not interested to help you. They are only interested to make their money. And in the case of debt, they have their targets. Kindly note, I am a jobless person now. I'm not a lawyer, and the above interpretations are purely personal. I would always recommend legal suggestion, which I've always told you. So please do withhold my details, because I need to survive and sustain. Good luck to you. Thanks. So guys, these were the 7 messages, 7 emails that people have sent me with regards to 200,000. That is if you borrow below, and 200,000 and above. So like I said, the purpose of this channel is to give you information to help you. It's more like a public service announcement just to support you. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Put your comments. I always appreciate. And like I say, if you'd like to support the channel, which really helps me because I spend a lot of time, effort, and money research making these videos, please contribute through PayPal to my email address. The details are given in the description box. This is me signing off for now. Take care.